feel like if you're going to do a graphical update, it needs to be alongside other stuff. Like, and the graphical update for me should have happened in Stormblood, not Endwalker, not Dawn Trail. Actually, that should have happened years ago. Like, a lot of these fixes should have happened years ago. You know, that every expansion have base actual foundational features, like where's the glamour system, whereas, you know, you don't have a glamour system but you have a storefront system. What's going on there? You know, why is that happening? You know, the formula is very stagnant at this point. You need to mix it up every few years. You can't have the same.
And then the counterpoint that people, especially in the community that are enjoying it, is that I can schedule my life around that. The raid series is predictable, so I know what's expected of me. So I'm not sitting here going like, oh man, like I got to do this whole thing, you know, because the risk is that all of a sudden you change it up and then everybody's like, that change sucks.
Do you know my simple response to that is, why are you scheduling your life around a video game?
Oh, you're 1,000% right. Like that's the exact. You know, it's like, okay.
Are we going again? Again, it's situational disability. Is your life now a situational disability to the game, or is the game now a situational
the
disability?
Game. See, I could classify video games as situational disability. Yeah. It's like if especially if you're addicted to them. Like, oh my goodness.
Yes, the amount of that's what I felt like when that discussion was going on, was a lot of people who were video game addicts justifying their addiction over parenting, and I was like, whoa.
Oh yeah, guess what? I'll let my characters die, or in the case of what happened at the start of this dungeon run, I let my party die.
Plus,
they probably were so confused. They're like, "Why am I not getting healed?"
Like, here's the thing, right? You're playing a video game, and your child needs you. If you don't tend to your child, they may die, and that's not fun. But if you don't tend to your game, you can die, but you can always restart.
So I read the design document, right, that Alana Pierce shared.
Oh yeah,
it's so terrible.
What she says in the video isn't what's in the design document.
Of course,
it's completely different. So she's saying, oh, but we want accessibility tools. That's not what that document says. That document's about designing systems for accessibility for the ground up. So you can design a system with, let's say, somebody with one arm in mind, and that will trickle down to people who are parents who only have like a baby in one hand, for example, or somebody with a strained wrist. So it's saying everyone can benefit from these accessible systems. The problem is with that, and I think I said it to you at the time, Brian, games like FF11 no longer exist.
Right.
Games like Dragon Age Origins no longer
Final
exist.
Fantasy ARR doesn't exist anymore, nor does Heaven's Word. Like, the game in and of itself has evolved, and that's where, like, I think and I hope that the system that they attack next in Final Fantasy XIV is the level sync system, because it literally would be a game changer. Well, and it's bad because as your character levels up, it means they just kind of shift the goalposts forward, right? So to have the full vision of your class, your job, your character, you have to be at level cap. But then when you do finally get to level cap, most of the content and time you spend isn't at level cap, especially at the launch of an expansion. And so one of two things would be nice to see. Either they say all the old content is level 100 for you. Go nuts and have fun. You know, like, okay, great. I can go play all the old content at the level 100. Or level sync is like, okay, we're going to let you keep your skills. So when you go into the older content, you're going to feel like a badass. And guess what? It doesn't break anything, because every time the expansion drops anyway, everything earlier gets way easier just organically, with the exception and the pushback, which I would feel is great for discussion on the ultimate raids. How do you protect that pay to win mechanic that is in Final Fantasy that a lot of people are like, I want to protect it? It's like, yeah, guys, y'all remember how influencers do this? Oh my goodness.
They can literally just do the WoW thing and just sync the stats. Not
like do an item level sync.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Item level,
scale your
stats
down.
They actually already do the item level sync, because they
do that.
If you're wearing max endgame gear, they're syncing your level, your item level, to the highest level possible in there.
Exactly.
Right, but then they also sync your
and they sync your class
abilities, and that doesn't make any sense, like
Well,
logically.
it was honestly it was fine back in ARR when the level cap was 50. It was fine back when the level cap, because there was all this other stuff that was kind of going on. But now all of a sudden you stack on another additional 50 levels, and you're not like, it doesn't feel like we're actually getting any real new skills. It just feels like, you know,
you're getting new versions.
They
of the
took
old
that
ones.
ability off of my job at level 20 and they moved it to my level 60, you know, so it's really nice here, but man, yeah, like I miss that skill. And it'd be neat if instead they were like, that skill evolves, and we see I think the foundation of that in Pictomancer and in Viper, but we also feel the weakness of the level sync system in the Pictomancer and in Viper.
I feel like the biggest weakness of FF is that it takes too long to change, too long to adapt and evolve. Like, you know, say what you hate about World of Warcraft, it changes significantly per expansion, like even per patch. And they have a huge development team. I think it's somewhere between like 600 to 800 people.